What's up, guys? I'm Joe. Today I'm going to talk about the new Nickelback album, Feed the Machine. So, Nickelback are back at it with their ninth studio album. It's a lot. It's a lot of Nickelback. Um, I will say this. When I first started getting into, I guess, like rock music, Nickelback was a pretty big band at the time. You know, they had Someday and Feeling Way Too Damn Good, like that kind of stuff on the radio. And so I got that album. I was pretty into Nickelback in like middle school. And then from that point on, I just never really got on the Nickelback hate train. I thought they got it pretty harsh, just kind of arbitrarily. Like the internet had chosen to really shit on them a lot. They're not. I never thought they were like horrible. They've come out with some bad songs. There's some bad songs on this album too. Even some bad albums. But I've always kind of liked them still. So it was cool to hear the title track "Feed the Machine." It had a very heavy vibe to it and a kind of political stance that they haven't really ever done. In the past, there's not really much to Nickelback lyrics. Maybe that's one of the things people critique them for, but, I never went to a Nickelback album hoping for some enlightening experience. Just like some good rock songs now and then. What you shouldn't expect is for this theme to really carry on for the rest of the album. I thought maybe it would, because the album's called Feed the Machine. You have the cover that echoes the music video they had there. But, the political thing doesn't really go on, maybe in one other song. But it mostly just sticks to this one, and it's pretty vague. It could be pretty much applied to anyone or anything. It doesn't take too strong of a stance. So there's really nothing special about the lyrical content. But the song itself, I think, is pretty solid. There's some really heavy guitars, heavy drums. Nickelback, for quite a few albums now, I think since like All the Right Reasons, have had a really solid drummer. Coin for the Ferryman kind of continues in the heavy kind of vein, which I was happy to hear at first because, the last album, No Fixed Address, which I do not like at all, they went real poppy for almost all of it. They came out with that song, Edge of a Revolution, and that was heavy and it was pretty good. And there's nothing else like that on the album, so despite the fact that Feed the Machine was pretty heavy and like people were surprised that it was heavy because, first of all, it's Nickelback, and then second of all, Linkin Park came out with Heavy, which everyone didn't really like, and it was real poppy, so to hear Nickelback bringing heavy into rock this year was surprising. But given that they've done that in the past, where they'll release like one heavy single and the rest is kind of crappy, I was a little cautious, despite Feed the Machine being a pretty good song. But Coin for the Ferryman, it's got a pretty solid riff. I like that in the middle, it kind of gets a little more aggressive than they've been in quite a while. But this song's pretty good, despite the fact that the lyrics I don't totally get. They're about, just leaving, going somewhere, going off somewhere with someone or together, whatever. I just think it's like a weird choice, the coin for the ferryman thing. Like if we're going to leave, there's one thing I know is that we need a coin for the ferryman. And I just thought that was kind of weird and random. If you're trying to leave somewhere and like, I don't know, start a new life or whatever, the ferry's only going to get you so far. I was kind of surprised there's not a reference to getting a Nickelback from the ferryman. That's a missed opportunity, guys. You have your fair share of the ballady type songs on here, which in the past I've liked. Someday, Saving Me, that kind of stuff. There's some pretty good ballads here and there. But as of late, the last couple albums, they've just got, too polished, too corny for me. Like, what's the song When We Stand Together was a big radio one, which I just don't like. But the ballads on here are okay. Song on Fire, After the Rain. There's a few others on there. I think if I had to pick a favorite out of the more lighter songs, it would be After the Rain, mostly because of that outro there. That chord progression is really cool and almost like kind of has an epic kind of feel to it, the way the vocals work with it, which I like that song. Song on Fire, which was a single, that's fine. It's not really, I wouldn't say it's bad, I wouldn't say it's great. What I would say is bad is Must Be Nice. This is a terrible song. So far the album had been pretty solid. I was like, okay, and then Must Be Nice comes in, and I just hate it so much. So I just, everything, I don't like anything in the song. The instrumental mixed with the lyrics that are going on are what kills it for me. There's a possibility that a different lyric choice would have made it better for me, but the fact that you have, let me look at them. I gotta look at them. one step, two step, electric slide, red fish, blue fish, blow your mind. On top of this like bouncy, dancey kind of drum beat, no amount of heavy kind of guitar on the song could save that. I get the theme, like this person lives in a fairy tale. It must be nice, and I get that, but you didn't literally have to put really weird fairy tale references in the song, and they're not even fairy tales. Redfish, bluefish, I guess, is a reference to Dr. Seuss. I wouldn't consider that like a fairy tale. I don't think. There's more. Wheels on the bus are falling off. The wheels on the bus go round and round. That's not a fairy tale. That's just like a song that kids sing. It's so weird that they're all like this. And then as I was listening, so the chorus has the "Your life's a goddamn fairy tale," and I'm like, oh man, it was so predictable that he was going to drop an F bomb instead in the final chorus. I mean, anyone could have saw that coming. He does it. It's terrible. But anyway, moving on. There are some really good songs on this album. Feed the Machine's a good one. For the River is one of my favorites on here. Definitely one of their best songs in a really long time for me. It reminds me a lot of their older stuff. It's got a nice drive to it, nice heavy riff, really good chorus that I like a lot. There's an energy to the track, there's an excitement to the track, which I definitely like. The Betrayal is a really good song, the Act 3 one. I don't get the whole act thing. There's Betrayal Act 3, then later there's Betrayal Act 1, there's no Betrayal Act 2. Maybe that'll be on the next album, I don't know. I think it's weird though because like Act 1 and Act 3, like they both have an acoustic kind of thing in the beginning. And like Act 1 is just an acoustic little instrumental. They don't seem to like really have any reference to each other otherwise. And like I guess they just put Act 1 later to be weird or like I don't know, to like loop the album. But it doesn't make that much sense. But the song itself, The Betrayal, is awesome. It's real heavy guitars. There's an almost kind of breakdown type bridge with just like a really good guitar solo. I can't really think of a time where Nickelback was doing guitar solos. If anything, it was just like a melody type thing done on lead guitar. But this has some nice shredding guitar on it, which I really like. It's just like so weird that you could have such good songs like that. The Betrayal, For the River, Feed the Machine, Corn for the Ferryman's pretty good. And then such bad songs like Must Be Nice on here. But, they've always kind of been a band that just throws things at the wall and sees what sticks, I guess. Silent Majority, I like that one. Not much to it. It's like a standard modern rock type song to it, but it's good. I like it. And Every Time We're Together is just it's a solid song as well. So I'd say overall, some of the best stuff Nickelback has done in a while, some of the worst stuff they've ever done, which makes it for a pretty interesting album. I honestly might just keep listening to Must Be Nice just because I don't like it so much. It's like when you watch movies that are bad, same kind of thing. It just brings me a different kind of joy. But yeah, so I'm going to give this album 3 out of 5 because I do think it has some really solid stuff on there. Let me know what you think of the album in the comments, if you like it, didn't like it. Don't forget to subscribe for plenty of more videos. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.